have positive feedback on my video yesterday. A lot of people contacted me and let me know that they saw it, that they were excited about the Small Town Sit Down podcast that's coming. And I thought the only way to get better at something is to practice. So I thought I'd start doing something every morning, maybe a news rundown, or pick one big story, national news story, local news story, whatever, and give my opinion on it. One thing we're not going to do on Small Town Sit Down is we're not going to bring politics into it. I know a lot of you have asked me, and there'll be more when we do our introduction video this weekend. We'll answer a lot more of those questions. But we're not gonna we're gonna try and keep politics out of our podcast. And again, we'll talk more about that later. So, but I may talk about it a little bit here, just for fun, on my personal channel. So, I actually have my computer here, and I can pull up and just, I'm on CNN.com, FoxNews.com, and then my personal news that I use is Timcast.com. I know a lot of people probably don't know about Timcast, but it's a neutral news site. Fox News is more Republican site. CNN's more Democrat site. I personally like to go read all of it, just to see. I like to see both sides of the story and make sure that I'm not being influenced by one side or the other. I read both sides and then I form my own opinion. And I feel like if everybody did that, we'd all be a lot better off. Don't let the news tell you what to think and how to feel and what to believe. The news reports the news. They should. And then you should form your own opinions based on the news. Now, what the news does is CNN will report the news with a Democrat bias. Fox News will report the news with a Republican bias. If you're a Democrat, you would say CNN reports the truth, Fox News reports lies. And if you're a Republican, you'll say CNN reports lies, Fox News reports the truth. It's just the way it works. There's probably truth on both sides of that. But if you don't go read the articles, you can't form your own opinion. So don't read the headlines. These sensational headlines, they grab you. They make you think, oh, I read the headline, I know what's going on. No. Go read the article, because the article is most of the time completely different than what the headline says. So it looks like the big news today is kind of the same as yesterday. Governor Ron DeSantis out of Florida is sending illegal immigrants, migrants, whatever you want to refer to them as, to Martha's Vineyard. Okay, so we all know there's thousands upon thousands of people crossing our southern border every day. Okay, number one, I'm a Christian. I think everybody who knows me knows that. These people are made in the image of God, and they're not animals like some people portray them as. They're not. They're humans who we are called by the Bible to love, to care for, to treat as brothers and sisters, and to spread the gospel to them. Okay, so we can't treat them like animals. Okay, I don't want anybody to think that's what we should be doing or that's where my beliefs lie, because it's not. We're also a nation of laws. You can't have a country if you just let people cross the border and come over and take our resources, take money from our taxpayers, our taxpayer money from the government, vote. We're letting people who don't pay taxes, who aren't even citizens of this country, vote on who we put into office to make the laws for the people of this country and who spend the tax money that we pay out of our pockets. Okay, so there's a lot of different issues here. So I want to make sure that we know we're a country of laws. Laws need to be followed. Those laws, I can get into that later, but and these people are humans. They need to be loved and cared for. Okay, so but the news is they're sending them to Martha's Vineyard. Why Martha's Vineyard? Well, I think we all know that that's where Obama's lives now. He lives in Martha's Vineyard. He lives on 30 acres there. He bought right on the ocean, which they're telling us climate change is going to, make the oceans rise and all oceanfront property is going to be gone. The same people who are telling us that are also telling us, well, showing us that they're buying real estate all over the coast. So that doesn't make sense, but that's not the point of the story. So if I go to CNN, I see that they're saying that it's terrible of Governor DeSantis to send the people to Martha's Vineyard. He's using the people, trying to get votes. Okay, I don't know that he needs votes, but I see that side. And then I go to Fox News, and Martha's Vineyard's humanitarian crisis statement is ridiculed after DeSantis sends illegal immigrants. So you see how they're playing both sides, right? It's the same news story. Governor Ron DeSantis loaded up a plane full of illegal immigrants, flew them to Martha's Vineyard, and let them out. You read CNN, he's doing it for one reason. You read Fox News, he's doing it for another reason. So where do I stand? I would much prefer to put them on a plane and send them back to their home country. The last thing I want to do is send them further and deeper into the United States where they can continue to use our resources and vote and take our tax money. Okay, so that's where I stand. Why don't we do that? Well, from what I've learned and what I've read, the states don't have the power to do that. Only the federal government can deport a person. So Ron DeSantis cannot legally put them on a plane and send them back to their home country. He can't do it. So his answer is to send them up to where Obama lives. I saw they dropped 2 busloads in Kamala Harris's yard. And to send them to, I think next they're probably going to send them to Delaware, to Joe Biden's, where his beach home is and where he's from. So if you live on the southern border of Texas, you're dealing with thousands of people coming in a day. And Florida's dealing with thousands as well. So is Arizona, New Mexico. All of these border states are dealing with it. And all of these folks who live in Martha's Vineyard, who are mostly liberal Democrats, are on the news or on TV. They're, you need to take care of these people. They're great people, take care of them, which I agree. Let's take care of them, but we can't. How? I mean, how do you do that? But then we send them, DeSantis sends them to their backyard. 50 people is what he sent. And now Martha's Vineyard is reporting that they have a humanitarian crisis and they don't know what to do. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say let them in and then require other people to take care of them and you don't want any part of it. It's crazy. But this is the world we're living in now. So what they want to do is they want to divide American citizens. They want to put you in a Democrat bucket or in a Republican bucket. So if you're a Republican, you have to vote Republican. If you're a Democrat, you have to vote Democrat. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want you to just pick a team, pick a side, be on that team, be on that side, and follow your orders, follow your marching orders of that team. That's not how it works. That's not how it should work. We I hate the two-party system. I do. Everybody knows me. I'm a Ron Paul guy. Was a Ron Paul guy. Ron Paul ran as a Republican because he had to. Never got any traction. Everybody made fun of his foreign policy, and now Ron Paul is now known as the "I told you so" guy. Because he did. He told us all what was going to happen. We tried to tell everybody way back when the Ron Paul movement was happening that he knew what he was talking about when it came to the Federal Reserve and with foreign policy. And I got in so many arguments and so many discussions. I literally deleted my Facebook account because I just couldn't. I saw how toxic it was. I saw what it was doing to me, and I vowed and promised that I would never do that again. So I don't get on Facebook and argue with people. I strongly suggest you don't either. It's just toxic. There's no reason to put a Facebook comment on somebody's post if it does no good. It does no good. Teach your kids, talk to your family, live life the way you're supposed to live it. Be a good person, treat people with love and dignity, and things will work out. Don't argue on Facebook. So I'm not smart enough to know the solution to the border. If we build a wall, they'll find another way to get in. If we, me, Ron Paul guy, I say we take all our troops that we have stationed all over the world, bring them home, protect our borders, and take care of the crime in this country. Stop fighting endless wars. Stop sending billions of dollars to Ukraine to be laundered to pad the pockets of current politicians. That's what I would do. I'm not a endless war guy. I got lots of friends in the military, close friends. One in particular is one of my best friends. Been to Afghanistan twice, and could never look at him and tell him, "You went for nothing." Him and I have had awesome discussions. I'm planning to get him on our Small Town Sit Down podcast at some point. Him and I have had great discussions about it. It's funny how much of the military supported Ron Paul. And people can say, "Oh, that's just because they didn't want to go to war." Well, yeah. But they signed up. And if they were called to go to war, they would go. But who should want to go to war? When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, yeah. I would have been willing to go to war back then. For that, you come over here messing with us. That's what the military is supposed to do. That's when we're supposed to go to war. But until then, no. No. So anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. That's why I'm doing this, so I can practice. I can get better. Talking on camera, I caught myself saying a lot, and I don't like that. I'm not a person. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to try, and my chair was swaying a lot. I'm going to try and fix that. Even just now I bumped and got all this noise in my microphone. But so today the story is the illegals going to Martha's Vineyard. So when you think about the grand scheme of things, the price of groceries, the price of gas, sending billions of dollars to a war in Ukraine, and the headlines are 50 illegal immigrants being shipped to Martha's Vineyard. Do you think they're trying to distract you? Do you think maybe that's the case? It seems pretty obvious to me that's what's going on. So there's an election coming up in November. I'm not going to tell you how to vote. I don't consider myself a Republican. I'm certainly not a Democrat, okay? I'm no way, no how not a Democrat. But I don't consider myself a Republican either. I'm more of an independent libertarian. I believe I just want to be left alone. Let me keep my money. Leave me alone. Let me live my life. Let me take care of my family. Let me donate to my church, help my church, help people who are in need. The way we were designed to be. That's me. I guess, like I was saying, there's an election coming in November. Just look around. Look at the state of our economy. Look at the price of gas. I understand gas has gone down a little bit since it was, but look where it is just in the last year, what's happened with gas. And I took my children who are 9 years old and 13 years old in 2020. I took them to vote, took them with me, and we drove past the local convenience store. And I told my son then, I said, both of my sons, I said, look at the price of gas. And I believe it was $1.82 a gallon or $1.86, somewhere in there. I said, depending on how this election goes, if Joe Biden wins, pay attention to that sign, and within 6 months, it's going to be over $2. And my son said, Daddy, no, it's not going to do that, no. Sure enough, I proved it to them. And they every day when we would go on the way to school, they would watch that sign. Daddy, it's going up. Daddy, it's going up. I know, son. There's consequences to your vote. Okay? There is. Now, you need to look at the candidates. Whether they have an R beside their name or a D beside their name, you have to look deeper than that. You have to. There's too many people who put an R beside their name but don't do and don't say the things that they're supposed to do and say. Same for the Democrats. There's too many people who put a D beside their name who are just crazy socialists. I mean, we shouldn't have any socialists in this country. So when it comes time to vote, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm going to tell you, don't trust any politician. Anytime a politician tells you something, anytime they look at you and say anything, first question that comes in your mind is, what's in it for him or her? Ask yourself that. What is in it for this politician? Why is he saying or she saying what they're saying? You have to think that way. Vote in your local elections, your city councils, your school board. You guys see what's going on across the country in the school board or in the school systems. I don't have to tell you, you see it. Those are consequences of people not voting in a school board election. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. Okay, so that's what I have to say for today. That's, hey, my first rant, if you want to call it a rant. I don't want to call it a rant because I don't want to rant. I'm a positive, happy person. Remember, Jesus told the Pharisees the two most important commandments were love your God with all your heart and love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you can do those two things, I promise you, it's not coming from me. It's coming from Jesus. If you can do those two things, you will be happy and you will live a better life. That's guaranteed. So I'll leave you with that. Looking forward to maybe doing some more of these, getting better at my on-camera presence, at getting my thoughts to flow a little bit smoother and a little bit quicker. In the meantime, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to it. I don't mind criticism. I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting myself on camera. I know. People are going to think I'm stupid. People are going to say things. I get it. It's fine. I'm grown. I can handle it. So if you want to come talk to me, great. That's awesome. I got 4 more microphones. I got room on my board here to do whatever I want to do. So come on. Thanks.